What's going on, everybody? Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to talk about small unit leadership tactics, moving fire team type of deals, right? So two reasons why I wanted to make this video. First reason, most important reason, I have 311 subscribers today. So there's that. Second one is I was thinking about going to OCS and I wanted to be a helicopter pilot, so I'm trying to look into getting into that sort of way. I'm prior service infantry with old 3-8 there on Lejeune. So anyway, I wanted to revisit this stuff because it goes away. If you don't look at this stuff and you don't use it every day or like once a month, or if you don't train regularly, just like shooting, it goes out the window. Before anybody gets butthurt and cries OPSEC, this was extremely easy to find online. You typed in like 3 words, 4 words, you find it, man. It's out there. It's actually the first 2 things that pop up when you Google this stuff. So I didn't get this from any sort of crazy archive and history. I didn't get this from anybody. I have stuff that probably would not be great to share online, but this is completely Barney. This is basic stuff. So this is easy to find. Whoever is pulling stuff off of Google has not done it yet. So, you know, give it a couple months. Maybe it's gone now, but whenever I made this video and whenever I searched this, it was not hard to find. So don't get mad at me, it's online. Okie dokie, this is a fire team. Ready is a point man. Team leader controls the whole team. Fire stands for automatic rifleman, and then assist stands for assistant for the automatic rifleman. Most of you out there probably don't have automatic rifles, so we're just going to pretend like all these dudes here have AR-15s or AKs or SKSs or some sort of semi-automatic rifle, because that's what we all seem to have. Roles and responsibilities for these fellers. There's a succession in command, meaning top to bottom who's in charge and when they're taking over next. A team leader is going to be first. The fire guy there with the arrow is going to be second. That's the automatic rifleman. The assistant rifleman with the A is going to be third. The ready guy is the point man. He's going to be last. The team leader is going to dictate where they're going. He's going to dictate how they're moving there. We're going to get in that in a minute, but formations and stuff. He's also going to control rates of fire, and he's going to control actions on objective. So there's a little bit of that. The automatic rifleman dude, he's worried about spraying that thing. He's going to lay down the fire for everybody. He's going to try to achieve fire superiority, and he's going to try to let everybody else move. Not that everybody else isn't shooting, but he's going to try to control the rounds on objective or the rounds on target, letting everybody move, do their thing, torque, or whatever they want to do, right? Assistant guy, he's going to carry extra ammo. He's going to make sure that if for whatever reason the automatic rifleman stops moving or whatever, he's going to go over there, get that automatic rifle up and moving and shooting and booting, you know what I mean? So he's going to take care of that stuff. The ready guy is just a shooter. He's going to be the one that's walking out in front, doing all the kicking in the doors, doing all the dang leading the way and spotting the things for the patrol. The ready guy usually communicates with the team leader back, like say you're in a certain formation and there's a big lake coming up, or there's a big hill, or there's an alligator in the way. He's probably going to look back at the team leader and be like, hey guys, there's an alligator in the way, so we got to go around. So then the team leader will be like, yeah, cool bro, we're going to go around. So that's just some things there, but he's mostly just a shooter, so he's going to be concentrated on running the point and pulling the trigger. So this is a attack column, and it's used for a few things. There are roughly 4 different types of ways to move. This is the most common, I would imagine, at least in my experiences, because it is easy to control from a team leader or squad leader point of view. Everybody knows what's doing. You just follow the person in front of them. You can be half alive and know what you're doing. So this facilitates control. It favors fires to the flanks. So if you're worried about getting shot from the left or the right, this is the way to do it, because if you look at it, everybody can turn and shoot left and everybody can turn and shoot right. There's nothing, obviously it's going to be a little bit more spread out than this. I would say at least 25 yards out per person, and that's direction from the dude up and to the left or up and to the right from him, not directly in front. So if that makes sense. So definitely got firepower to the sides. Like I said before, it's used for speed and control. It's super easy from a squad leader point of view to let this do its thing. I know I just said squad leader, but I'm talking about a team leader perspective also. I was both of those things at one point, so I kind of mix them in together. I look at a team like this, a team of 4, as a team, and then I look at a squad, I guess, which would be 3 of these teams together. Each 3 of those teams has a team leader. So essentially, you replace the symbols, and you're just controlling 3 team leaders, which in turn controls the squad. So I hope that didn't sound too ridiculous, but what I was trying to get at is that whenever you have an engagement, usually you want to pick whenever it happens, not the other person, and usually you want the odds to be in your favor, and the way you reference that is you want to engage 3 to 1, meaning that if there's 3 of you, there's 1 of them. So that's why you wouldn't want any less than 3 people in a team. Now you could go up to 6 people in a team, but at that point you could have 2 team leaders and 2 extra dudes, which would make up 2 small teams. So there's something to think about there whenever you're putting this together in your head. It doesn't have to be play by play, book by book. Whatever works is what's gonna work for you. So you just think, use your little noggin, and put together what would make the most sense. Again, you don't want to engage 1 person with any less than 3 people. So that would mean the minimum for a team would be 3, unless you're planning on engaging half of a person. So that's just something to think about. The wedge is good for all-around security, meaning that everybody has interlocking sectors of fire. Interlocking sectors of fire just means that whatever you're looking at overlaps with the next guy's looking at. The guy in the front's going to look ahead, the guy in the back's going to look in the back, the guy on the left's going to look on the left, and the guy on the right's going to look on the right. And just for example, if we're talking about the front and the left guy, what they're observing in the patrol while they're walking is going to intersect with each other. So they're going to have overlapping field of view. That way there's a 360 circle around them that they're taking in and experience. I probably should have said this before now, but whenever you're looking at these formations, try to think, what would these guys do if they took contact? If they got shot, from what angle, who could shoot back? And your real life scenario here, you're not going to shoot with the dude in front of you. So the reason why you wouldn't want to shoot over him is RTR basically, but it's SOP, I guess. And it stands for return fire, take cover, return accurate fire. So if those dudes take contact, the dudes that can shoot back are going to shoot back. They're all going to get down, and then they're going to try to take well-aimed shots and get at whoever's shooting at them. In that well-aimed shot time frame, they're going to try to achieve fire superiority, so they have freedom of movement. Once they have freedom of movement, they're going to maneuver on the enemy and get them. Or if they can't, they will egress and try to get out of there, right? So they'll try to leave. So that's just something to think about. You could shoot over somebody, but usually that's more of like a you're closer type of deal, not 20 to 50 yards away trying to shoot over them. So quick recap for the wedge. It's flexible. Everybody can move around pretty easy. The situation is unknown, and on to the next one. So this is a skirmisher. It's kind of close to a squad line, which is everybody is exactly on the same plane, and usually that's more like at the end of an end of assaulting an objective. But this is more or less like where the enemy is, and this arrow is pointing straight ahead, so we know the enemy is in front of us. It maximizes the firepower to the front and to the back. If you get caught on the left or right side, it's not going to be fun. And these pictures, I don't feel really do it justice. They're good representation. They're good visual, feel good. But usually whenever this stuff is happening, you're spread out enough to where if somebody takes a grenade or if somebody takes a mortar round or something, something blows up. Somebody, I guess more recent years, somebody steps on an IED. You don't want everybody to die. You don't want the guy to die that stepped on it, but you don't want everybody to get hurt because they were all bunched up on each other. And then also, it kind of opens up the field of view, field of fire, because if everybody's touching butts next to each other, then they're going to be cut off by each other. So if everybody's bunched up right next to each other, you think about the closer you are, the guys that are sandwiched in the middle, they can't turn left or right or pivot as much as the guys on the end. So last thing here is called an echelon, and these are pretty sweet. So these are also hard to control because everybody again is trying to look at their team leader to see the speed, the next thing that they're going to do, the next direction they're going to go, that kind of thing. but it does maximize firepower to the front and to the rear. Do you think these guys stay contact? Can they shoot forward and they shoot back? Every single one of them can, so it's going to be a good day for them. Also, what's kind of cool about this one is, say for example they take fire from the front, they take contact in the front. Each of those dudes can just run straight. There's no maneuvering around anybody. There's no almost shooting your buddy. There's just, you all get online, you catch up, and then you go for it. So that's kind of cool. Again, it's slow movement usually. It's hard to control. It does protect the flanks. So like, for example, if you had multiple teams, you could have a wedge in the middle, and then you can have one of these on the sides, and you can be like a flying V type of deal or whatever. So you just kind of use these interchangeably. It is what it is. I think probably just a little recap here. Most easy to control would be a column. The hardest to control would probably be this or a skirmisher, and they all have their pros and cons. So whenever you're going to implement them, or if you're ever going to go out and do it, just try to remember to your head, you'll never have the perfect answer, and you'll always have to adjust it on the fly. Anything you think that's going to happen, bad that's going to happen, probably will, and whatever you didn't prepare for will also probably happen. So to get good at this stuff, I know it seems super easy, and you look at it and you're like, I could do that. Yeah, you might be able to, but everybody else with you has to too, and that's kind of a scary thing if you have people that are incompetent or just don't know what they're doing, and they're shooting live rounds next to you. So there's that. We're just going to take a look at a few squad formations, and they're just these but multiplied by 3. So that's kind of fun. These are the basics. This is the crawl, walk, run. Geez, can't talk. This is the Barney, and then the squad is like the Caillou version. So you graduate a little bit, but not really, because there's a lot more to it. So anyway, yeah, this is the little bit, but we're gonna move on to the squad stuff. All right, guys. So here's some squad elements, what they look like. As you can see there, the squad column's pretty easy. Squad leader's in the middle controlling everybody. Team leaders can all see them. It's moving real good. Now I know this video is getting long, so we're just going to do like 30 seconds per slide so you can get a nice little visual reference. It's kind of easy to scrub through and find it, and then we'll go from there. Also, whenever I found these pictures, somebody really liked the wedge, so you're going to see a lot of that. Just heads up. So the first wedge we got here is what I would think of as the actual wedge. Everything else is kind of like a knockoff version, the great value version. So at least this is what I learned as a wedge. And I'll say right now, I have not been in the game in a while. This is my revisit to this stuff, and this is what I remember from my experiences. So this doesn't mean that this is the set in stone way to do this. This is just me sharing what I got. You know what I mean? So anyway, the next wedge here is about to turn. There we go. And this is like an online wedge. I don't ever remember doing this. Maybe if we were going through like some thick vegetation and we kind of had some idea where we were wanting to go, and the target area was to the front. But to be honest with you, these are kind of weird. One thing that I did do was like a column in the middle and a wedge in the front and in the back. But this one, don't remember too much. Doesn't mean that people didn't do it though. Just saying, that's mine. And this one here is a reverse wedge. For some reason it's got squad V in there. I mean, it looks like a V, so I guess I get it, but it's just a wedge backwards. Squad leader's in the front. I guess he's a rifleman now, and he's gonna lay the law. So I cannot remember ever having a fire team behind me other than in a column. So maybe I'm just not experienced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Maybe I don't have experience. I don't know. Just don't remember this one. This is what I remember is being online in a skirmisher, like a squad skirmisher. This is reaching the objective or assaulting an objective. Everybody's covering, moving, and getting it, laying down the law, and they're closing in on somebody. This is what I remember doing a lot of. Coming to a target or whatever. And then the last one here is turning the corner. We're almost there, and here it is. It is an echelon. So definitely remember doing this too. You can take any of these and blend them together. You know, you can take some of this, some of that, sprinkle this. Biggest thing is the squad leader can communicate with the team leader. Team leader can communicate with the team. So if you made it this long, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you got something from it. This is Barney stuff, so I would imagine that some of you out there know most of this stuff because this is day one stuff. If you didn't know, please write in the comments what you thought was good and what you didn't know and now you do. The thing about shooting and moving and being in teams and that kind of stuff is that people don't know what they don't know. So they think a lot of times that going to the range and standing still and shooting a paper target is all of it. I had an interview with a sniper friend the other day. You can go check that video out. I'd appreciate it. But he says in that video, you know, people want to be snipers and they go to sniper school, and it turns out that like shooting is less than like 1% of the job. You know, you have to be out there for days. You gotta be wet. You gotta be hungry. You gotta be tired. You gotta be sneaky. All leading up to 1 or 2 shots, and even then, it's like that probably won't happen because you're there to stake out stuff and you're there to engage if you have to. But most of it's recon and stuff. So it's the same thing with this stuff. Shooting should already be taken care of. Being able to hit the target, you should already be able to do. You don't want to be out of breath and halfway unconscious, or take a round and be, you know, wounded and then still have to hit the target and think about hitting the target. That stuff should be automatic. You should be able to engage properly without prior thought. That should already be done. You should be thinking about, where am I? Where are my team? Where are we moving next? What's cover? What's concealment? When am I going to reload? Where's my mag at? Priority a target. Why am I shooting at this person and how and how many rounds? What's my fire rate? You know, all these things should be going through your head. How many more magazines do I have? Do I have to slow down my rate of fire? What is the rate of fire everybody else is shooting at? See, these are all things that should be like cycling through your head. You should never wonder what you're doing because you're soaking up the environment and the environment's telling you what to do. And you need to be able to read that. And shooting is at the very bottom of that list because that's something you should already be able to do. I'm probably going in circles now because I'm tired and it took me a long time to make this video. Anyway, if any of this is making sense to you, thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching the video. If this is interesting or if you like this, I would be more than happy to make more. I don't do good views on any of my videos that involve shooting or any of this stuff, so I am mostly doing this video because I have 311 subscribers today. So I think that's a throwback to the old Uncle Sam. So we're gonna represent and do one for Chesty, right? So thanks for coming by the video. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Gang, gang. See you next time.